What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again, and welcome back to Arca Scans on this happy Monday, where we take a look at this week's potential movers directly from my scanner. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so we're looking at ticker symbol SPWR. This is the one that we actually caught in the live stream at Power Hour today, right? So I wanna go ahead and point out that this thing could actually be near a floor or at a floor, right? So and it could be presenting a potential bear trap as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over some of these conditions, right? So what I'm looking for is actually volatility versus momentum on the earlier time frames. Since, please notice here, look, I'm just going to make this, I'm just going to zoom into this. So as we zoom in, you can actually start to see that there is some type of curvature happening here, right? Although there is still a downside, right? No problem. But I want you to notice here that there is a curvature happening. So that means that the earlier time frames are likely to have some type of corrective move towards the upside. Another thing is that we are at about 85% volatility, so very close to that critical percentile, which would be within the 15%, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the 12-hour and notice how this would likely change to the upside, right? Or gradually change to the upside as we go down on the time frames. There you go. And let's go ahead and look at the 8-hour. The 8-hour has even more of a convincing curvature, and in this case, the 8-hour seems to have critical volatility right now. It looks like we're about to start that contraction phase with an upside pivot. This is essentially the signature that we look for before an upside move when it's a volatility play, right? So let's go ahead and now move down to the 6-hour. Please notice critical volatility here, upside pivot here, you guys. It looks like the signal has already fired, right? So now going down to the 4-hour. 4-hour time frame, similar situation, upside pivot, contracting volatility, and in this case, we actually have the 4-hour making a bullish cross upside of the 14-day simple moving average in the RSI, right? So bi-hourly time frame, let's take a look at that. So bi-hourly time frame, we have a very convincing upside pivot here on that 3-day exponential moving average, critical volatility here within the 15 percentile, and it looks like it could be making or prepping a pretty nice upside move. There could be a reaccumulation phase on the hourly to maybe the short-term time frame, right? So yeah, it looks like between the hourly and the 30-minute, right? So we have a downside pivot here on the 30-minute on the RSI, right? So the hourly now has a downside pivot too. It's at support, and it looks like maybe we can actually face that bottom side support on the bi-hourly time frame, right? In respects to the RSI versus the SMA 14. So the SMA 14 could clearly make its way up right to that 38 percentile, where we can actually have this RSI signal meet the 14-day simple and the gravitational zone of the bear strength percentile before a bounce to the upside, right? So that would literally be what could happen here. So if we are looking at the setup from a bi-hourly time frame, then sure, let's go ahead and take a look at our moving averages and see what we have in store for this asset, right? So we have the SMA 10 located at about 1127, so that could be a very nice area to gain some type of entry, right? So it's actually going to be a range, right? Because we have a gap right over here. So this gap bottom located at about 1115 could be the bottom side for entry, right? So let's just go ahead and take note of this. So we'll draw it as a range. And also notice that the SMA 10 is located right at the bottom of this candle low here, right? So very, very impressive correlation there, right? So yeah, this could be one of the zones to potentially get long the asset, right, or get long the market here. Okay, so secondary entry could be the space, and I'm not even sure if it can actually reach down here, right? But a secondary type of get long target would be right, the obvious target being the lowest end of this candle here, right? So around 1084 to about 1098 could be that secondary zone. So the more obvious targets to look at here, you guys, would be the range high, which would be at about, I would say, 1215. So if we're looking at it on on a bi-hourly time frame, the gain from that, let's just say from this bottom side, right? Let's just say from this bottom side, that gain would actually lead to, well, if we can measure it, it'd be cool, right? So let's see, let's just say that it was from this entry here. That 12.15 would be already at about a 9% gain, right? So that's not bad. So in other words, if it were actually up to me, then I would really prefer gaining entry within these targets here to really make a bigger bang for the buck, right? So 12.15 would lead to about a 10 spot, 6-7% move to the upside. If we can get that bi-hourly 50 SMA at about 12.23, that makes it an 11% move, right? So, and now taking it from the very bottom side, I'm not sure if we can reach there, right? That would be close to a 13% gainer. And this would be just a nice kind of a day trade here, and an in and out and no onions, right? So that'll pretty much be it for that trade. So I definitely know that I'm keeping this one in my radar. I want to see what it has in store for the coming sessions, right, you guys, as there is a pretty nice reaccumulation period happening over the next day. I'm not sure that I can make the move to the upside in that next day, but it looks like we could make the downside in the next day. Okay, you guys, so yeah, keep this one in your watch list. Let's see what it's got for us in the coming days, okay, you guys? But please remember, first and foremost, that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. Okay, you guys, I need you to do your own DD, your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, you guys, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.